So I had an event this year where, in Rallycross, where I hit quite a large dip in the mud, and upon doing that, this light bar on the front of that particular vehicle was torn out of its mounting, and it was mostly just like temporary mounting in the inserts in the bumper, so of course they won't last very long. This is not a terribly expensive light, but it would be nice to reuse it. It's 30 volts max, I guess, about 120 watts. So we'll try to repair it. You'll notice there are quite a lot of scratches, and there is one like crack in the glass, but perfectly good light otherwise. 120 watts, so not super bright, but I think this combined with a couple of pods would work well for the Scirocco for now. It has this nice aluminum heatsink backing, and then you notice, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the center LEDs have a different type of lens than the other ones, so you get these as some like diffused light, while these shine straight on, which is okay. The major issue with it really is that the wiring has been torn out, so we'll just dismantle it and see if we can repair that. It should come apart pretty easily. There's a few torque screws in the ends. So. Put my tools. So these ends should pop off now. The screws are now removed. And these are, oh, that's interesting. There are, get a light. There are 5, I'm gonna turn the camera light on actually. If I can do that. There are 5 stars embedded in the metal on the inside. Why would that be? I have no idea what the purpose of that is. There are 5 stars on the inside. The other end. And again, we have the same thing here. We have 5 stars. I have no idea. Okay, so those ends are off. Oh, that's neat. So there's actually a rubber coating on the ends. Okay, so we'll be breaking this seal to take it apart. The way this works is there is a hole here for the cord to go. But the issue is that cavity that the hole goes to is down here, and the cords broke off down here, and there is no way to reach in that far. So unfortunately, in order to slide this circuit board out, you have to take off this glass, and this glass is glued in. Because there are bolts, screws that hold this in that go along here. But what I was able to find actually on the end was the 2 pads that the wires used to go to. I didn't originally think these were the pads because I can see the remnants of the red wire inside here originally, but after looking closely, it's very clear these are the pads, and wires were actually ripped out of them, and there's just a piece of the wire left in here, which is fine. So what I'm going to be doing, since the wire originally went in here, is I will route the new plug through here and then solder it onto the board. So I've now feeded our Molex connector with the wire through. And these are 16 gauge wires, so they can carry a few amps, which should be fine for 100 watts, I think. So what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll solder it onto the board here. Very hot. Okay, so now these leads are soldered on. So we can pull this wire after. Focus. And we can now test the light. So now hooking up an 18-volt drill battery, just to test because my power supply isn't quite doing the job here. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna run it at 24 volts. Because that's what a lot of controllers run at. But if 18 volts isn't causing it to run reliably, I doubt 24 will. Especially since it's rated from 12 to something. So there must be some sort of controller that has failed. Interesting. So I removed the cheap banana connectors. I have the banana connectors and wires from my good power supply, and we set an old ammeter here that'll show up to 10 amps. So we run this on 18 volts, and see it's drawing 6 amps. Which isn't too bad. These wires aren't getting hot. So I think we're good to go. So we'll put this back together and see if it continues to work. So now we have a working light bar. You can see we stacked the heat shrink, so you have one larger size for the larger connector, just to protect it from corrosion and such, and then you put a smaller size of heat shrink. And that just makes sure that the wire is insulated and the connector is insulated. So this is back together now. The ends are on, insulation is in, and see if we can throw it on the Scirocco.